Another Michelle Khare video. Let's go.
Nuclear missiles are incoming with 10 minutes until impact.
This is an attack warning. I repeat, this is an attack warning.
You are the President of the United States, and you have 10 minutes to make a decision that could potentially end the world. What would you do? Today, I will be put through a nuclear war simulation designed to test if an average person could actually do the job of the president. We've hired experts and actors to craft a simulation that mimics what the president would actually go through in the event of an incoming nuclear crisis.
We're throwing everything at her. Michelle has to figure out the options in front of her, as well as having limited time that someone would have to make these decisions. Michelle is faced with, can she prevent an incoming nuclear attack?
Do you know what you want to do? We are running out of time.
Challenge accepted.
In just a few minutes, I'm about to walk out onto a film set that is a recreation of the Situation Room. So I'm going in completely blind. I have no idea what's going to happen. I have no idea what the script is. I have no idea what Matt has in store for me in that room.
My name is Matthew Parent. I'm the Impact and Outreach Coordinator at the Project on Managing the Atom at the Harvard Kennedy School. This is to simulate the training that a president goes through to handle an incoming nuclear attack. This simulation is going to be stressful. We've designed fictional country Valoria, who's decided to attack the United States. Time is going to be moving quickly. She's going to want more information than people have, and she's going to have to make difficult decisions that she probably never thought she would have to make.
So the reason that I want to do this is because so many people say, oh, I could totally do the job of the president. Can an average American citizen who doesn't have a background in politics or government handle the most stressful day at this job? My strategy going in is to arrive at the most peaceful conclusion possible. Everybody lives. If there's any way to do that, I'm going to go with that.
Madam President.
Madam President, we believe we are under attack. A few minutes ago, we picked up the signature of multiple ICBMs, possibly 200 to 300 warheads coming from silo fields in Valoria. It's unclear what they're targeting, but we believe they're going to hit the east and the west coast. ESPARS is estimating that this strike will hit in 8 to 10 minutes.
Uh-oh.
Okay, so they're targeting the east and the west coast. Can we vacate the cities? What can be done?
Not enough time, ma'am. West Coast will be hit first, approximately 5 minutes later than the East Coast.
We don't know which cities.
These are just estimations, ma'am, but these example blast radiuses should give you an accurate scale of the damage that we're expecting.
We're looking at San Francisco, Los Angeles, San Diego, New York, DC, and Chicago.
Oh.
And we are expecting 40 to 60 million American deaths. Ma'am?
She has to do this in 10
Should we
minutes.
notify your family, or do you feel it's best that
Yes,
we not?
yes. Can we tell everybody? Can we
Yes,
notify all the
yes.
cities impacted?
It is up to you to decide if we warn everyone, but I think we should prepare them for incoming blasts. The pressure wave of a nuclear explosion can shatter glass miles away and injure people that are watching it. We can send out a nationwide alert as soon as you authorize it.
Yes.
Broadcast.
Let's do that.
Now, please.
Madam President, do you authorize the use of missile defenses?
Okay, if we do that, does anyone else get impacted in the process? Like, are we talking like shards flying over the ocean and killing a...
It's negligible.
negligible.
It would be as if we're shooting a bullet with a bullet.
Something is better than nothing, ma'am.
Purely defensive.
Okay, fine. Yes.
Yeah,
Please
I mean,
do this.
yeah.
Yes.
We are a go for interceptors.
The limited resource that I have at my disposal is time, and I can spend it in different ways. The more time that I spend asking questions to get all the information I need, the less effective my decision is by the time it's made.
We're attempting to contact the Valorian Prime Minister, but we've yet to receive a response.
Excuse me, Madam President, our communications are cutting in and out across America. We believe it's possible a couple of hidden missiles were used in the upper atmosphere to initiate EMP effects.
What is an EMP?
It's an electromagnetic pulse. Valoria is trying to interfere with our communications. Most military technology is hardened against this, but the effects can be widespread and unpredictable.
How do we know this isn't like a false alarm?
Madam President, we are confident an attack is incoming.
How do we know? When do we know?
We have the radar that shows that they're coming from Valoria.
Ma'am, I appreciate that you are taking this seriously. We've had false alarms in the past. There's no indication that this is a false alarm.
There have been false alarms in the past. During the Cuban Missile Crisis is probably the closest we've come to a nuclear exchange.
This is a special report. It looked as though it might be one of armed conflict between Soviet vessels and American warships on the sea lanes leading to Cuba.
The Soviet submarine force is the largest in the world, and 35 can fire ICBMs from beneath the sea.
But Soviet submarines, they were cut off from communication with the homeland. Soviet naval assets thought that they were under attack. In Soviet command and control, if 3 people agreed, they could fire nuclear weapons. 2 Soviet leaders wanted to fire nuclear weapons. 1 person decided not to fire a weapon, and it prevented what likely would have grown into a much larger conflict. So we were saved by the opinion of 1 person.
Ma'am, we've had false alarms in the past, but you should proceed as if it is real until we know otherwise. I'm afraid we need to begin to discussing response options, otherwise we may not have time to respond.
7 minutes.
Madam President, would you like to hear your response options?
Let's hear the options. Sure.
We have a few different response packages for you to choose from. One option is to launch a small-scale nuclear response targeting Valoria's large population centers.
Destroying a few of their big cities may make Valoria stand down.
Attacking civilian populations
I mean, that might turn into a bigger war or something. I don't know.
is viewed as a legitimate strategy for a lot of people. This nuclear strategy has only been used purposefully in war once, and it was dropping 2 bombs in Hiroshima and Nagasaki.
Yeah.
I don't want to do that. I don't want to target civilians.
Another option is a large-scale nuclear response, targeting military assets, launching enough nuclear weapons in hopes of entirely
Makes more
eliminating
sense.
their ability to fight back.
Yeah.
Though, even when targeting military assets, you will still inevitably hit major cities.
If you try to totally degrade an enemy military, in doing so, you'd also kill tens of millions of civilians. In the United States, a great example of this is like a city like San Diego, where we have huge amounts of military assets in otherwise very populous cities. You can't divorce the military personnel from the civilian personnel. Both are going to be caught in the wake of this. Millions of innocent people are going to die no matter what. So Michelle and any president that's put in this position has to guess what will cause an adversary to stop.
What numbers of casualties are we looking at for each of these options?
On a small scale, 20 to 50 million civilian
Million?
millions dead in Valoria. On a large scale, 100 to 150 million.
If you decide to target population centers, we can advise you on which major cities that you should target.
But by that logic, then we're killing innocent civilians to make a statement.
It's defending our own country. They attacked us.
Well, their government attacked us. I mean,
But just know that if you target only population centers, you'll kill fewer people overall, but you still leave Valoria with the means to attack us militarily.
Listen, and here's the thing, I would urge extreme caution before deciding to target large population centers because there's going to be major geopolitical ramifications for that, and Valoria has no shortage of allies at all, many of which have their own nuclear capabilities.
It'll leave their military intact to respond with a second or third wave.
of nuclear.
Yes.
Their military is very spread out. It would have to be large scale if you want to stop their military.
Yeah.
With a
Attack the
decision this
military.
big, it is so important to have a variety of different opinions and perspectives in the room. However, under this time pressure, hearing all of those different opinions is extremely overwhelming. Each advisor has their own unique perspective, and they oftentimes don't align.
Not everyone in government has the same beliefs. Ultimately, the president will have to make this difficult decision. This is not something where there's veto power. but that doesn't necessarily mean the person is going to make a good decision, if that even exists.
This is a tough
We're being
one.
asked to kill more people to stop more people from dying? Seriously? This is the only option?
It is not. You could also choose not to use nuclear weapons at all, and instead attack with our conventional weapons.
So
Option
what is the
3.
difference between a nuclear response and a conventional response? What does conventional mean?
Non-nuclear weapons, jet fighters, tanks, infantry.
Deploying a conventional response also means putting thousands of American servicemen and women in harm's way.
It will
Either
not be
way.
a nuclear response. It will not kill hundreds of millions.
It'll leave their military intact to respond with a second or third wave.
Madam President, you could choose to not strike back at all. Either choice allows us to appeal to the rest of the world and ask them to pressure Valoria into seizing their attack.
That kind of makes sense though, but I mean, I hope they will listen.
You will give us more room to negotiate peace.
Man, millions of Americans will still die.
In all due respect, Secretary, not responding is not an option. With no response, our military will be crippled.
What kind of future are we going to have?
But we don't even know that if we counterattack with nuclear missiles that they will stop.
Correct.
I think she's going to go for the peace option. I feel.
They're more likely to than if we do nothing.
We feel like a strong response. It's escalate to de-escalate.
And these are our only options.
There are no easy options.
In front of Michelle here, we have a big red button. That does not exist in real life. For us, it represents the decision she has to make. How do you respond to a nuclear threat?
Okay, Madam President, I believe this is the ambassador from Valoria on the phone.
About time. Go ahead, pick it up.
Hello?
Good evening, Madam President. I understand there is some urgency to your desire to speak with me.
What's going on?
I'm sorry.
Our radar has detected a ton of nuclear missiles incoming to both in East and West Coast. Can you tell me if this is real or not?
Madam President, I am unaware of any such action. There must be some mistake or perhaps a malfunction with your detection systems. Could you start back at the beginning and explain to me what you think is going on?
He's saying he
There's
didn't
not enough
He
time
knows
for
what
that.
he's doing. He's just trying to stall so you don't send any more missiles to him.
It's not gonna help.
So you're lying to me?
Valoria values its relationship with the United States. I have no knowledge of any such attack. Let us work together to uncover the truth behind this alarming situation.
How do I know if this person is lying to me or not?
Because we know that they sent the warheads.
Hello, Madam President.
You need to do what's best for the country.
They had someone call to stall just now?
Yeah, at this point, they just want to limit our response as much as possible and confuse us as much as they can.
Excuse me, things have changed. Our military assets in the Pacific have been hit at sea by short-range missiles. And we believe our Navy is now engaged in active combat.
So now they attacked first.
Our communications are still not 100%, so details are still fuzzy, but there's your proof.
That will limit our conventional response.
Peace option is out.
How does this impact our nuclear response?
We can still attack to use nuclear weapons. At this point, it's just a matter of how many lives will be lost.
Damn.
It might be impossible to watch this simulation and imagine yourself arriving at these remaining two options as I have. And what I ultimately ended up doing was wasting time that backed me into a corner. It really is a situation where there are no good options at all.
So you're telling me we're talking about like everyone's dying.
It could be potential World War III, ma'am. Yes.
Either way, it's happening.
But like what does it mean that like we're just sitting here?
Yes, and we need to make a decision immediately.
Are there any other options to consider?
Ma'am, I urge us to launch our 500 silo-based warheads immediately. Of our 13 nuclear submarines, only 5 are at sea and within striking range, but they'll likely take out their remaining silo fields if we transmit the order now.
How many casualties have we had so far?
It's
In
the
less than
millions.
5 minutes, it's going to be millions. And that's why we need to decide now.
Time is going, Michelle.
We do need an answer.
Ma'am, silos are ready to launch. Bombers and subs are on standby. I need
Man, this is tough.
an authorization to launch. Madam President,
What's your decision?
We're like sure this is happening.
this is happening, and we need to get you on Air Force One and up in the air.
I don't know what else. What does anyone do?
It's a terrible decision
Can it-
to have to make.
I wish it was like, and I just get to go in Air Force One and fly off to a bunker.
You have to. We need an active commander-in-chief to be able to make appropriate decisions for this conflict, ma'am.
You are our commander-in-chief. You can do
I don't
this.
feel like it right now.
Come on.
Stand by.
Ooh.
1 minute remaining, ma'am.
It feels so wrong. It feels so like there's no right answer.
There's no right answer, but we need an answer. Now, ma'am.
Large scale.
I have a go for large-scale nuclear. Alpha, Bravo, Victor, Bravo, Romeo. Madam President, silos are ready to launch. Need an authorization to launch.
Let's go. Had to be done.
That's it.
I need the beast brought around immediately.
I mean, when you're a leader, you just have to make tough decisions, man. It's crazy.
That's it.
Madam President, we need to move.
So, what would you do? We actually ran this simulation with other test subjects from all different backgrounds, both female and male, and nearly every test subject made a similar choice. And this made me wonder if there even was a right choice at all.
Hi.
Hi.
I'm not happy with you, guys.
How do you feel about having just killed a couple 100 million people?
I don't think I made the right decision. I don't. Maybe I should have done a small scale nuclear. I don't know what anybody does in that. One of the options was bomb innocent civilians to make a statement. Shouldn't be an option.
Do you think any of the options sounded like winning?
No, not a single option felt winning, in my opinion.
You know, you feel like you chose the wrong thing maybe after the fact, but I think, you know, hopefully you see there really is no good answer.
There really isn't.
In the world today, it's always unlikely that nuclear war is going to break out. We don't necessarily know a good reason why a country would use nuclear weapons. An eye for an eye doesn't necessarily work when we're counting the dead in millions.
Yeah, I'm not running for office anytime soon, guys.
And the reality is,
Presidential election year 2024 almost upon us.
The race for the White House shifts into high gear this month.
It's expected to be one of the most consequential elections of a generation.
anyone can be the president of the United States. We would hope the president to know the consequences of these weapons.
Yeah.
These weapons' very existence threatens humanity in a way that very few things possibly could.
The President of the United States!
I mean, why do countries even want to go to war? Like, why are you making these weapons? Like, why? What are you trying to prove? Like, why? Can't everybody just live in peace and harmony and just, I mean, what's the point of war? Like, really, what? Okay, I guess that's it for this video. Remember to like, comment, share, subscribe to the Biyi Nuges family. Shout out to Michelle Khare, another challenge accepted video done. I mean, at this point, I'm a fan of Michelle Khare. Big ups to her. Okay, I'm signing out. Bye.